Time to fun.
Totally busting.
Yo, this is Brainstory. You're bucking with Brainstory here at a late night in Rialto, California.
Episode 1.
At the Martin Nest. Episode 1. We got a lot in store for you here. We're going to be telling the story of the brain and even more off top. You know what I'm saying? We freestyling all night. Maybe we'll put on some beats and start freestyling for y'all.
Yeah.
We're going to do it all. But, we just wanted to kick off a show just to, give some background to some people who...
Are we that comfortable? We're just wearing chonies?
Yeah, we're just wearing chonies right now. That's how comfortable we are.
Half of this group
podcast
has no
in
pants on.
So on here we have Eric. Say hi, Eric.
Hi.
Then we have Tony. Say hi, Tony.
Yo.
Young Tony.
And we have special guest, Big Tony in the house. Say hi.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Oh, molded.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
But we just wanted to, we got some new listeners coming through, so we wanted to just, keep it 100 and let everybody know how we do it here in Rialto.
Rialto.
Inland Empire, Redlands, Fontana, San Bernardino, Muscoy, all that, Riverside, all that.
Farkle
So
City.
we're just chilling right now. Fontana, shout out to Fontana. We're just gonna tell some stories, talk shit. You know what I mean? So have some fun, smoke a J with us.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see. I've never heard Eric tell the brain story from his perspective. So if we could keep it concise, well, maybe I'll be able to tell the brain story from all of our perspectives, and we'll keep the ball rolling. So Eric, go ahead, tell your side of the story. How did you meet Kevin and Tony, and how did it all happen in your mind?
So we were all in college, and or Kevin and I were in college, and I was just thought it was like Kevin played better than most people I knew, and he just had more soul. And so we started playing jazz together in Riverside, and played this gig at Back to the Grind every month, and just played crazy. And then years later, we started Brainstory, and the rest is history.
Boom. So if you guys don't know, in Riverside, there's a place called Back to the Grind where we basically since 2010, from 2010 to like 2014, we played jazz, and we were all pretty much jazz musicians before we even started the band. So let's segue over to Tony to tell his story. How does your brain story happen?
To everybody out there, Shane, the pennant to walk in. Just kidding. Pretty much, me and Kevin have been playing music since, I was 14. Our first band, Strunk Ahead of Pancho Villa.
Yo.
Shout out to the Evil Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we were playing jazz and shit, and we always knew we needed to start a band. We had a band named Golden Boys.
Yo, shout out to Renee Galvez.
Shout out to Renee.
Yeah.
And after that, I went up to the Bay Area to play jazz and learn from some of the masters up there.
Oh, Malvin Butts, baby.
Shout
Calvin
out to
Keys.
Malvin Butts. Shout out to Calvin Keys.
Charlie Parking.
Charlie Parking, Juan Caltrans.
Chris Amberger was my mentor over there. The fool play with everyone.
Chris Amberger's a shit.
Kenny Burrell, all kinds of fools. Red Garland.
Whoa, who played? You played with Red Garland?
No, he did. Chris Amberger.
Oh, I was like, you're all
He
shouting
was
out
my
Kenny
mentor.
Burrell
I
all
didn't
of
know
a
that.
sudden.
He was my mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that fool played with Kenny Burrell.
Flex, okay.
Flex and
Okay,
All
so
kinds
then,
of fools. Tito Puente.
okay, so then,
I think Sonny
so how
Rollins
did,
too.
so you're in the Bay, you're playing jazz, studying jazz. How did you make that work when the band was starting?
So pretty much, I had like 2 songs, and that was when you were recording the album.
Who's you? Me? Kevin?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I remember you were just sending me the tracks, and then I would listen to them and give you suggestions, and then come like once a month, fucking jam out in Rialto, and then go back to Oakland.
Yep.
Until, life made me decide, like, damn, I need to just do this band finally. And we finally did the band, and that shit was Brainstory.
Boom,
Every
boom,
day is
boom.
music.
Every days, baby.
Every days.
Oh
Thank you,
yeah.
Julian.
Yo, all the levitation room homies. Shout out to them. All right, so
Kevin's
this is
turn.
Kev. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Brain Story was born out of necessity to do something musically that was gonna fulfill our hearts and our minds and our souls, and maybe put some change in our pockets.
The meaning of life.
But Brain Story, the name came through flipping through a 1970s yearbook from I think it was Garfield or Lincoln High School or some shit in the LA area. Flipping through an old 70s yearbook, and I looked at a page with this had a big portrait of this African American kid who just looked like so funny. He just had like so much light in his face, and he was voted funniest guy in the school. And I looked down to his name. Lo and behold, it said Brain Story. But it was actually supposed to be Brian's Story, but it was a typo. So I just said, I'm going to put that in the bag, and we're going to call this shit Brain Story. Pretty much that's how the name came about. And then Tony was in the Bay. I had a necessity. I felt it was necessary to record some music, even though I didn't have a band to really do it. So I produced it with my boy Corey McCormick out here in Rialto.
That's my boy Corey.
The
man
man
in the bottle.
The man in the bottle. Yo, the man in the bottle.
That's my alma mater.
Yo, so Corey McCormick, man, amazing engineer, and me and him produced it together, and we did it in his little side room
This shit
in
sounded
Rialto.
tight.
Sounded
It was
dope. It was
raw.
all
It was
digital.
real raw.
It was all digital too, man. Like he knew what he was doing, man. He got a sound. So, shout out to Corey, and we recorded that in his a natural phantasm. It ended up being in Rialto. Then I took it to Eduardo from Chicano Batman. Me and him mixed it, and then that's the rest is pretty much history from there. Shout out to Eduardo Arenas, who's fucking always held it down, 100
Brother of
Fool's
dreams.
killing it right now.
and 33%, 133% for Brain Story. Arenas, Eduardo Arenas. Shout out to him. Shout out to Carlos Arevalo, who's also
yeah.
been putting in. Shout out to Bardo. Shout out to Gabriel. All of them. They're the fucking big bros. And
First gig was
owe a
just
lot.
with them.
Yeah, first gig with them at the M Bar.
No rehearsal.
No rehearsal.
How about
Nah,
the
we
hip
had one.
kitty?
Oh shit.
That's
The
way
hip.
back.
There, your dad bringing it back about the hip kitty.
Damn.
I was there.
When
the
Chicano
beginning.
Batman played.
Yeah, you and Chicano Batman.
We didn't play with Chicano Batman.
No,
did we?
you guys played.
Oh, separate.
Yeah,
Yeah. The Hip
that's
Kitty was in Claremont. We were getting down. Oh, shout out to Beat Cinema, Ricky, and Beat Cinema. Man, they were doing it big at the Hip Kitty for years, and that's where we were going. And seeing fucking Gaslamp Killer went through there. A bunch of LA beat heads. Shout out to Chewbacca Beats, who won, I think, first place one year for their beat battle.
Really?
Yeah, I think he did. I might be mistaken, but Chewbacca is fire.
Hey, that's my homie
Check out
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
What's up?
So, we recently got signed to Big Crown, which was like a big step for us. We fucking love them. They're fucking the homies. Man, it's just truly
family.
truly a
Family
blessing.
shit.
Apocalypse.
My boy, Farcalypse.
Apocalypse.
Professor Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yo,
Apocalypse.
shout out to Big Crown, but like honestly, man,
Leon Farkles.
again, it goes with the like Brain Story to me. I remember writing down in this like because people were trying to give me advice about how you market a band or like you tell a story with your band to get people like blah 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 like interested, right?
Right.
So my thing with Brain Story, like, all right, Brain Story truly is just a serendipitous coincidence. You know what I mean? And it's actually just some shit that was really meant to be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
That's
was.
that's what
It was
I
I know,
truly
dude. That's what
meant to be.
the
we
essence of it.
for
Yeah.
years. We talked about when we get the band.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Since we were teenagers,
yeah,
we're talking
it's-
about the band.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
gotta get the band- we
gotta get the band together. Get on the road.
You know what I mean? Like, remember when it first came back? I remember feeling like, damn, it's
The band.
crazy.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
really doing the band.
the band.
Like, fuck, and it really went somewhere. We really
But
did it.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, but the thing is, it all fell in line with what we were already building. The bridges we were already conjuring and the connections we were already, manifesting with our friends in Chicano Batman. So I think it's 2015. I can't really remember too clearly. Smoked too much weed, but I think it's 2015. Leon Michaels approached Chicano Batman to do their next record, and then I met Leon at like a brief second because he came to Bardo's house and I was hanging out at Bardo's house at that time. And I met Leon for a second, but I was like, kind of like, I knew that it was a business thing between them a little bit, or they're meeting for
right.
something. So I kind of like stayed out of it or whatever. But I met him briefly there, and he was basically talking to them about doing a record. So that was I think 2015 or 2014 maybe, and then 2015 the fall. No. This is totally wrong. No, yeah, that's right. Okay. Anyways, so they went out to record with Leon. Leon, they were having a great time. Eduardo, who had just produced our EP that we put out, the self-titled one. Uh, he was talking to Leon, and then I don't know exactly how it happened, but Leon asked him, well, what are you working on? Like, you produce music, you record music, what are you doing? And he had just finished our record, so then he showed him, and this was pre Big Crown. Big Crown hadn't even come out yet, I believe. I don't know, but it basically he showed it to Eduardo, and he showed it to Leon, and I guess Leon was feeling it. I don't know really what was going through Leon's mind, but then fast forward 2 years later, Leon sends us an Instagram message, direct message, and it's just like, "Yo, send me demos." I think I posted like a demo of something
Yeah.
that I did on my 12-track recorder, and then he was like, "Send me more music or send me music," and I didn't really know like what was good really, and then we went to Eduardo, cut some demos, sent them to over, and then pretty much they were down to sign us like within a couple of days of us sending it, and
Yeah.
I remember I was on the street. I was in Compton, going to watch Earth, Wind and Fire, when Danny hit me up on the phone. I knew it was him because it was a New York number, and I was kind of expecting the call, and then he hit me up, and then he was like, we want to sign you guys, and then that's not how Danny sounds, but then I just was like, all right, cool, well, give me a week, I'm gonna get back to you. But honestly, it was like immediately like
say yes, like
yeah,
right. Away.
right. I don't. It was just weird, like saying yes right away, like.
Let me have a talk with my people.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm gonna talk to the guys.
I remember you called me right after. I was at Anto's house.
Yeah.
I told Uncle Carlos.
Yeah. So yeah,
My heart was beating all like.
all crazy. I started crying on the street. I was like, fuck. Like it was it
You
was a
called
big
me
thing.
like Tony.
Yeah. was
Fuck, and then
crazy.
I told Uncle Carlos.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
think the second person I told was Eddie.
Yeah, I called Eduardo, right? Yeah. I called Eduardo, or you want a different Eddie?
No, I'm talking about Eduardo Valencia.
Oh,
at Younger
word.
practice. I had like Younger
Oh,
practice like the day after, or
oh
like 2 days
shit,
after.
yeah.
Remember, I brought him in the side, like we were taking a break,
Yeah,
and I was like, "I gotta tell you a secret."
yeah.
And then he was all like, he thought it was about some girl or some shit. And I was like, "Nah, dog."
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much how we got linked up with Big Crown. Pretty much was like friends. It's all just friends, really.
Yeah.
At the end
No,
of the day,
but even then, they're like when we met them, they're our friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we went to
It's
New
What?
York,
It was just so easy to
Recording
get
it
along
like
with
was
them.
instantly.
recording
Yeah.
it was so relaxed and
Yeah.
chill,
dud
fun,
and fun and just like
Farkle,
Duddy.
shooting Farkle,
yeah, just I
Farkle.
don't know, like,
connecting.
yeah,
It was just about connect. We were
yeah,
just
for reals.
connecting, man.
It was so chill. It was so chill.
We even got to go to upstate,
Me-
record
meet
at
Leon's
Leon's home
family,
studio, meet his whole family.
his weird
and all
haunted
that.
parlor.
Yo, his fucking
See a
house.
bear?
Yo, his house is haunted as fuck. Oh
And
my
there's a bear?
god.
You
Only
guys ever
one
hear
room,
bear
though.
thing? You're hearing like noises and stuff.
But
or
I
what?
had, I think I had like just was like talking about I feel like spirits and this shit or something, and then I walked towards the front door,
Oh yeah,
which
I remember
faces
that.
the Hudson
I
River,
remember that.
and then the
Oh.
door slowly opened, and it was like dusk, and it was just like all this golden light pouring through. It was like a beautiful like ghostly moment. It was like
Probably
unsolved.
was.
It was like unsolved
The
mysteries, like
spirits
Yeah,
were
like-
seeking the
you
spirits.
know what I mean,
Do
like
it.
unsolved mysteries, like
Yeah.
cinematic moment, like of this door, the front door opening. Like I was just like, yo, this shit is crazy over here.
Yeah,
What the
I
fuck?
just remember sitting in the little parlor room, like, cause he has the little
Oh,
keyboard
yeah,
in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just being like, I don't want to be in here.
That shit's
There's
kind of
something-
scary, bro. Yo,
I
Leon,
feel weird.
you need to run some sage. You know what I'm saying? Through the
Well,
motherfuckers.
remember,
Fans
because underneath the house, they found those abolitionist papers or some
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's right. It was
slaves?
some Underground
yeah,
Railroad
underground
shit.
Yeah, it was
railroad
like
shit.
a-
Because his house
yeah.
is like 200 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, also shout out before we forget is Jens Younger.
Oh,
The
that's
fucking
my boy.
the whiz kid. Yo, this kid's a wizard. Yo.
Yeah, for
That
real
boy
though.
good.
No, that's
Yo.
for. I'll never forget when they're setting up the fucking drums for like 40 minutes for one song, and then we start playing, and then he's like, Eric, can you play in the northwest corner about 54 degrees? And then you like played in a specific part, and he's like, uh-huh. And then he came out, and then he was having you play it again. And then he like tuned it a little better and moved the mic. Like what? Like how would you
Yeah.
hear the most
How to do that,
minuscule,
Genius.
like little, like, and the whole
Yeah.
time I felt like I could just ask this fool anything.
Yeah.
Jens, what is God? Like, and he might tell me the right answer. I don't know.
He would give you like a super logical answer.
Yeah, like, and like,
Super scientific.
about anything. I even asked him about the history of New York, and he fucking gave me some shit.
Yeah.
Yo, Jens.
Shit was.
Jens is the man.
So what do we
Junk
what do we
on
got
Earth, dog.
what do we got coming up? Shows tomorrow.
Well, we're playing
Viva Pomona.
Well, this probably won't come out.
Yeah, it
before
probably
that.
won't come out.
But
We're just
Viva
gonna plug
Pomona.
the album. We're just gonna plug the
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it's
For
coming out
sure,
and shit.
man.
Bakersfield. We're playing in Bakersfield
Yeah. So
Museum.
NorCal.
the album is called Buck. You know, we had to just do it 100 with the lingo and what we're about. Shit is Buck.
Buck
And
butts.
it's coming out November 15th. Hitting the streets hard on vinyl. course.
Psychedelia.
We also gonna have CDs. We're gonna have MP3s. We're gonna have all that shit.
Grooves.
And we're gonna do it big. We're gonna do it big. We have some more announcements about that. Shit. You know what I mean? Just keep updated with us on the Instagram, the social medias,
Tell your
on
friends.
Facebook. Tell your
Yeah.
friends. Bring
Stay
a friend to
tuned.
the
It's
show.
coming. It's coming. The
We
fucking
got
show.
we got Big Tone on the record.
Oh yeah.
We got Big Tone on the record. We
Big
got
Tone's on the
we got
record.
fucking some killer videos. We got some content, man. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be dope. I hope let us know what you think. DM us, man. We're open, man. Just hit us up. Like, tell us everything. We love to hear when people are just like vibing on a certain song, man. Like that's that makes it all worthwhile. Is when people be like,
yeah.
oh, this song, blah blah blah. Like tell us your brain story about this song. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
we
let us
telling
know.
yours, we put out on our story. But honestly, music is
everyone's.
is
Really.
everybody's
When
story,
you listen
man.
to it, it's
Yeah.
yours too.
Yep, exactly.
And
We
just
all
let
connect.
us know what you want to know, what you want to know about us on here too.
Yeah, exactly. Send
know?
us some questions, man. We're gonna go live next time,
We're gonna-
probably,
yeah,
and
and we'll
fucking
get
get some
dirty.
people. Yeah, we'll get dirty.
I'm about to talk about my dick.
Next
We'll-
time
we'll-
we're gonna break down. We're gonna break down the
Please don't,
IE
Tony.
lingo.
It's gonna be a short
Yeah.
story.
Ah,
Oh,
damn! Fuck
says
it
my
up.
dad, whose DNA created my dick.
Damn. Molded.
Yo, I'm gonna start calling you Little Pecker.
Dang.
That's your rap name, Little Pecker. Shout
All
out.
right,
Any last thoughts?
Any last thoughts? My last
Big
thoughts.
Tone, go first.
Okay,
Last
go,
thoughts.
go.
Last thoughts. I'm just excited to see this thing just excel to the heavens. You know,
Hey.
this is like just the beginning of, you know, it's like a birth of a great, a new genre.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really.
Buck.
Awesome. Buckadelia.
I just want to say to anybody out in a place like the IE or some other desolate fucking ass spot, if you want to make it in music, it means that you love that shit. And we've been doing this shit for a long time because we love it. We sacrifice being normal ass fools to do this shit. And here we are making a record. Like, and that's what success is to me. It's not making a gang of money. It's making a gang of art. And the shit is
Right.
bomb. And just be raw. That's how you make it. That's how fools even know who the fuck you are. Not because you're making some mediocre ass shit like that's popular. It's because you're making whatever you're making bomb and raw as fuck. And you're down to learn how to fucking figure it out.
Nice.
That's it. Shout out to Kita Penas. Shout out to fucking Yanga. All the fools. All the fools. We're on fire, dog. We're on fire, dog. We're on fire, dog.
Stay buck, and remember, life is short. You gotta stay buck. You gotta
Stay
get up
buck.
there, do
Roll a
do-
joint. What's the point?
You gotta do what's right. You know, you gotta get up there. You know, you only have a short time. You gotta do what's right for you. You gotta do what you love. So
Yep.
don't get trapped. You gotta fucking
Don't get it
Yeah,
twisted.
dog. You only
Don't
have
get it
one life.
twisted.
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny
Man,
Pacquiao.
we gotta do a whole thing on just the lingo.
Yeah. Well,
Manny
next
Pacquiao.
one we'll do
Yeah,
the
next
lingo.
one we're gonna
Yeah,
go.
the
We'll do
next
some
one,
definitions.
I remember
we'll
when
make no cards with.
I first went to
fucking-
college and no one knew what the fuck
definitions.
I was saying.
When I met you guys, I didn't know what the fuck you were saying.
All right, my last thoughts are, if you're still a little question about, you're questioning what is buck. You know what I mean? You might still not get it. I can give you some advice as far as like, yeah, come to the show. We gonna buck there, so you can see what that is. But also in the plainest words that I could just, say is like getting buck means, or just the word buck to me means breaking the chains of oppression with a soulful expression. That's what that shit really
With
means
an
to me.
erection.
With a big erection.
Please use protection.
All right.
Okay, porn.
I know. Okay. On that note,
All
we
right.
have trauma.
Oh, God.
All right. Thanks. This is episode 1 of Buckin with Brainstory. We
Yeah.
out.
My dick is a
We
normal
out.
size. Fuck all
We
y'all.
out.
Lil Wee Wee.
Fuck all yeah.
Yo, MC Lil Wee Wee over here.
Goodbye.
F you. F you.